right, here we go.
Hello, welcome to Grass is Blue. I'm Elle Cope, and today we'll be listening to Union hymns and solidarity songs from the folk and bluegrass traditions spanning 2 centuries. On a show about Appalachian folkways and culture, I would find it remiss to not discuss the history of labor organizing in the region. As you may be familiar, organizing in Appalachia reached its peak during the days of coal mining, in which workers were exposed to deeply harmful and life-threatening conditions in the mines for very little pay. These mines were owned by massive corporations who valued human life as cheap and did not respond to workers' calls for better conditions. So workers organized. First, we'll hear directly from a labor leader himself in the Harlan County, Kentucky miners movement, Nimrod Workman, who became a bard of sorts, writing pro-union songs to explain the workers' conditions and to keep their spirits up. Here's Coal Mining Blues.
This song that I composed, that Coal Black Miner Blues, an old guy, he was working in there, and he'd take the man trip, cut it off, push it in his place and load it up in coal. And you couldn't get him out at all, hardly. Kel Dowden was braking on a motor. Enos Markham, he was running the motor. And I composed this song, and they fired a guy off in the tipple trying to put a scab on it, trying to break the union up. And I composed this song on Enos and Kel. And Herb was the guy that would load the coal. I got the blues, Lord, Lord, coal black mining blues. Went to my place and I peeped in, slade in the water up to my chin. I got the blues, Lord, Lord. Coal black mining blues. I looked at old Jim. Jim looked sad. The worst darn place that I ever had. I got the blues, Lord, Lord. Coal black mining blues. Sent me to the office to look at the roll. Children counted up $9 in the hole. I got the blues, Lord, Lord. Coal black mining blues. Kel and Enos on a pardon, half a pay's 4. Herb's in the head and then he wants 4 more. Got the blues, Lord, Lord. Coal black mining blues. Bask 'em at the bottom, a dipping up sand. Long come short, he says, I got another man. You got the blues, Lord, Lord. Coal black mining blues. Herb on the tipple, singing a song. Get gone, Herb, because whips are coming on. You got the blues, Lord, Lord. Coal black mining blues.
this a land of freedom for workers like you and me. Dear miner, they will slave you. They can't work no more. And what do you get for a living? But $1 at the company store. A tumble down shack to live in. Snow and rain pours in the top. You have to pay the company rent, and your pain it never stops. I am a coal miner's wife. I'm sure I wish you well. I'd sink this capitalist system in the darkest pits of hell.
That was Abigail Washburn and Bela Fleck with Come All You Coal Miners. Coal miners organizing reached a fever pitch in 1921 when 10,000 armed coal miners from around Appalachia descended on Logan County, West Virginia, to establish a union by force, whereupon they confronted local police and strikebreakers in the largest labor uprising in American history. After 5 days, the army was brought in to end the battle, and while the United Mine Workers did see reductions in membership, publicity of the conflict ultimately led to a more unified coal workers movement. Let's hear Louise Mosery tell us about it.
Find a vein and drain the black gold, hoping to God that the timbers hold. Like my father before me, it's all I know. We live only to harvest the coal, to harvest the coal. Mine owner's mercy, about as shallow as a grave. Living in shanty towns, we ain't got no say. 14-hour shifts and such a meager wage, and Mother Jones can't help us now anyway. Anyway, we'll take the roads, we'll take the train by force. So deliver us, Lord, from the gathering storm. Lay down your Bibles, take up your gun, Blair Mountain. Here we come, here we come. Red bandanas that tell us what side you're on. Yeah, we're the rednecks of the Union 1921. We leave tonight 13,000 strong and take the fight to Blair Mountain before the dawn, before the dawn. We'll take the road, still buried in the mine. I fight for my son, so he'll have a better life. We're soldiers of the Great War, and it don't seem right to treat a man like a dog just to make a dime, just to make a dime. We'll take the roads, we'll take the trains by force, so deliver us, Lord, from the gathering storm. Lay down your Bibles, take up your guns, Blair Mountain, here we come, here we come, here we come. Find a vein and drain the black gold. You better hope to God that the timbers hold.
Which side are you on? 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 Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner, and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Tell me which side are you on? 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 Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Tell me
Which side are you on? 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 Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize. Tell me which side are you on? 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 Tell me which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
That was Which Side Are You On by the Weavers, a song originally written by Florence Reece, a coal miner's wife, in 1931 in support of her husband's strike. Now, it's important to remember that union organizing in Appalachia was happening in the context of a broader workers' movement in America at the time. For today's show, I've taken a lot of inspiration from the International Workers of the World, who produced their Little Red Book, Little Red Songbook, in 1923. The IWW, often called the One Big Union, was a socialist organization founded in 1905, which sought to unify the working class. And their Little Red Songbook became an extremely popular book of Union hymns. On the inside front cover, they outline their position. It is the historic mission of the working class to do away with capitalism. The army of production must be organized, not only for everyday struggle with capitalists, but also to carry on production when capitalism shall have been overthrown. By organizing industrially, we are forming the structure of the new society within the shell of the old. Without any further ado, here's Commonwealth of Toil by Ralph Chaplin.
In the gloom of mighty cities, midst the roar of whirling wheels, we are toiling on like chattel slaves of old. And our masters hope to keep us ever thus beneath their heels, and to coin our very lifeblood into gold. But we have a glowing dream of how fair the world will seem when each man can live his life secure and free. When the earth is owned by labor and there's joy and peace for all in the commonwealth of toil that is to be. They would keep us cowed and beaten, cringing meekly at their feet. They would stand between each worker and his bread. Shall we yield our lives up to them for the bitter crust we eat? Shall we only hope for heaven when we're dead? But we have a glowing dream of how fair the world will seem when each man can live his life secure and free. When the earth is owned by labor and there's joy and peace for all in the commonwealth of toil that is to be. Is all triumphant and we claim our Mother Earth, and the nightmare of the present fades away. We shall live with love and laughter, we who now are little worth, and we'll not regret the price we have to pay. But we have a glowing dream of how fair the world will seem when each man can live his life secure and free. When the earth is owned by labor and there's joy and peace for all in the commonwealth of toil that is to be. In the commonwealth of toil that is to be.
I saw Joe here last night, alive as you and me. Says I, but Joe, you're 10 years dead. I never died, says he. I never died, says he. In Salt Lake City, Joe, says I, him standing by my bed. They framed you on a murder charge, says Joe, but I ain't dead. Says Joe, but I ain't dead. The copper bosses killed you, Joe. They shot you, Joe, says I. Takes more than guns to kill a man, says Joe, I didn't die. Says Joe, I didn't die. And standing there as big as life, and smiling with his eyes, says Joe, what they can never kill. Went on to organize, went on to organize. From San Diego up to Maine, in every mine and mill, where workers strike and organize, it's there you'll find your hill. It's there you'll find your hill. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you and me. Says I, but Joe, you're 10 years dead. I never died, says he. I never died, says he. I never died, says he.
There's power in the factory, power in the land, power in the hand of the worker. But it all amounts to nothing if together we don't stand. There is power in our union. Now the lessons of the past were all learned with workers' blood. Mistakes of the bosses we must pay for. From the cities and the farmlands to trenches full of mud, war's always been the boss's way, sir. The union forever defending our rights. Down with the black label workers unite, with our brothers and our sisters from many far-off lands. There is power in our union. Now I long for the morning that they realise brutality and unjust laws cannot defeat us. But who'll defend the workers who cannot organise when the bosses send their lackeys out to cheat us? Money speaks for money, the devil for his own. Who comes to speak for the skin and the bone? What a comfort to the widow, a light to the child. There is power in our union. The union forever defending our rights. Down with the black metal workers unite, with our brothers and our sisters. Together we will stand. There is power in our union.
That was Billy Bragg with There Is Power in a Union. And before that was Paul Robeson with Joe Hill. Joe Hill was a Swedish immigrant, an IWW member, and a songwriter who wrote many of the songs in the Little Red Songbook. What the song is referencing is the fact that Joe Hill was executed in 1915 in a highly skeptical murder trial, and it's thought by scholars today that he was framed due to his revolutionary political stance. Let's hear one of Joe Hill's most famous songs, Casey Jones, the Union Scab, performed by Pete Seeger.
The workers on the SB line for strikes had out a call, but Casey Jones, the engineer, he wouldn't strike at all. His boiler, it was leaking, and the drivers on the bum, and the engines and the bear, and they were all out of plumb.
Casey Jones
Kept his junk pile running.
Casey Jones
Was working double time.
Casey Jones
Got a wooden medal for being good and faithful on the SB line. The workers said to Casey, won't you help us win this strike? But Casey said, let me alone, you'd better take a hike. Well, Casey's wheezy engine ran right off the wheezy track, and Casey hit the river with an awful smack.
Casey Jones
Hit the river bottom,
Casey Jones
broke his bloomin' spine.
Casey Jones
Turned into an angel, he got a trip to heaven on the SP line. When Casey got to heaven way up to that pearly gate, he said, I'm Casey Jones, the guy that pulled the SP freight. You're just the man, said Peter, our musicians are on strike. You can get a job of scabbing anytime you like.
Casey Jones
Got a job in heaven,
Casey Jones
was doing mighty fine.
Casey Jones
Went scabbing on the angels, just like he did to workers on the SP line. Well, the angels got together, they said it wasn't fair for Casey Jones to go around a scabbing everywhere. The angels, union number 23, they sure were there. They promptly fired Casey down the golden stair.
Casey Jones
I went to hell a flying.
Casey Jones
The devil said, oh fine, Casey Jones, get busy shoveling sulfur, it's what you get for scabbing on the SP line. Woo, woo.
I was a welder pulling down 40,000. For all I know, that job's in Pakistan now. I'm out working for that minimum wage and wondering whatever happened to the 8-hour day. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Who feeds a family now on one person's pay? I can't take much more, I just got one thing to say. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? We got no time for the house, no time for the kids. And any hour we can put your life on the skids. I can't take much more, I just got one thing to say. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Who feeds a family now on one person's pay? I can't take much more, I just got one thing to say. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? The company keeps telling us we want too much. I see all of them still got that Midas touch. Oh, the economy's booming. Yeah, that's what they say. It's 'cause I work twice as hard to take home half of the pay. The kids need attention. The house is a mess. Our marriage is buckling from all of this stress. There's only one thing gonna take it away. Tell me, whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Remember when one job could pay all the bills? Remember good jobs that demanded some skills? If this globalization is great like they say, tell me, whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Oh, whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Can't feed a family now on one person's pay. I'm fed up with here, I just got one thing to say. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Whatever happened to the 8-hour day?
We're gonna roll the Union on. 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 We're gonna roll the Union on.
That was Woody Guthrie, of course, with Gonna Roll the Union On. And before that was Ann Feeney with Whatever Happened to the 8-Hour Day. You're listening to Grass is Blue on AROUSE OSU Student Radio. Once again, here's Pete Seeger.
Now, if you want higher wages, let me tell you what to do. You got to talk to the workers in the shop with you. You got to build you a union, got to make it strong. But if you all stick together, boys, 'twon't be long. You get shorter hours, better working conditions, vacations with pay, take your kid to the seashore. It ain't quite this simple, so I better explain just why you got to ride on the union train. 'Cause if you wait for the boss to raise your pay, we'll all be a-waitin' till Judgment Day. We'll all be buried, gone to heaven. St. Peter will be the straw boss then. Now, you know you're underpaid, but the boss says you ain't. He speeds up the work till you're about to faint. You may be down and out, but you ain't beaten. You can pass out a leaflet and call a meeting, talk it over. Speak your mind. Decide to do something about it. 'Course the boss may persuade some poor damn fool to go to your meeting and act like a stool, but you can always tell a stool, oh, that's a fact. He's got a yaller streak running down his back. He doesn't have to stool. He'll always get along on what he takes out of blind men's cups. You got a union now and you're sitting pretty. Put some of the boys on the steering committee. The boss won't listen when one guy squawks, 'cause he's got to listen when the union talks. He'd better be mighty lonely. Everybody decide to walk out on him. Suppose they're working you so hard it's just outrageous and they're paying you all starvation wages. You go to the boss and the boss would yell, before I raise your pay I'd see you all in hell. Well, he's puffing a big cigar, feeling mighty slick 'cause he thinks he's got your union licked. Well, he looks out the window and what does he see but 1,000 pickets, and they all agree he's a bastard. Unfair! Slave driver. Bet he beats his wife. Now, boys, you come to the hardest time. The boss will try to bust your picket line. He'll call out the police, the National Guard. They'll tell you it's a crime to have a union card. They'll raid your meeting. They'll hit you on the head. They'll call every one of you a damn red unpatriotic. Japanese spies. Sabotaging national defense. But out at Ford's, here's what they found, and out at Vultee, here's what they found, and out at Alice Chalmers, here's what they found, and down at Bethlehem, here's what they found, that if you don't let red baiting break you up, and if you don't let stool pigeons break you up, and if you don't let vigilantes break you up, and if you don't let race hatred break you up, you'll win. What I mean, take it easy, but take it.
Again, that was Pete Seeger with Talking Union.
Come you ranks of labor, come Union Corps, and see if you remember the struggles of before, when you were standing helpless on the outside of the door, and you started building lanes on the chain, and you started building on the chain. When the police on the horses were waiting on demand, riding through the strike with a pistol in their hand, swinging at the skulls of many a Union man, as you build one more lane on the chain, as you build one more lane on the chain. Then the army of the fascists tried to put you on the run, but the army of the Union, they did what could be done. Oh, the power of the factory was greater than the gun, as you build one more lane on the chain, as you build one more lane on the chain. And then in 1954, decisions finally made. Oh, the black man was rising fast, racing from the shade. And your union took no stand, and your union was betrayed, as you lost yourself a lane on the chain, as you lost yourself a lane on the chain. And then there came the boycotts, and then the freedom rides, and forgetting what you stood for, you tried to block the tide. Oh, the automation bosses were laughing on the side, as they watched you lose your lane on the chain, as they watched you lose your lane on the chain. You know, when they block your trucks, boys, by laying on the road, all that they are doing is all that you have shown, that you gotta strike, you gotta fight to get what you are owed. When you're building all your lanes on the chain, when you're building all your lanes on the chain. And the man who tries to tell you that they'll take your job away, he's the same man who was scabbing hard just the other day. And your union's not a union till he's thrown out of the way, and he's choking on your lane on the chain, and he's choking on your lane on the chain. For now the times are telling you the times are rolling on, and you're fighting for the same thing, the jobs that will be gone. Now it's only fair to ask you boys, which side are you on, as you're building all your lanes on the chain, as you're building all your lanes on the chain.
That was Phil Oakes with Links on the Chain. Of course, when we think about labor and valuing labor adequately, we have to centralize the role of women in the movement. and not just traditionally employed women. Domestic labor is labor, and it must be valued as such. Here's the Henry Girls with another Joe Hill tune, Rebel Girl.
She's a rebel girl, a rebel girl. She's the working class, the strength of this world. And I'm proud to fight for freedom with a rebel girl. There are women of many descriptions in this cruel world, as everyone knows. Some are living in beautiful mansions and are
went to the Union Hall where a meeting act was called. And when the boys come up to her, Lord, this is what you do. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. Now this Union maid was wise to the tricks of the company's bash. She'd take the dare, she didn't care. She always organized the guys and she always got her way. When she asked for better pay, she showed her card to the National Guard. Honey, this is what they say. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. Tip from me. Oh, get you a man who's a union man and you can join the ladies auxiliary, because married life ain't hard when you got a union card, and a union life is a happy life if you got a union wife. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union till the day I hope I gotta sing it again. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union till the day I die.
One of the most important weapons, instruments in any cause, in any movement, in any strike, is the picket sign. We wrote a song about this. It's in Spanish. We call it El Picket Sign. Desde Texas a California, campesinos están luchando. Desde Texas a California, campesinos están luchando. Los rancheros a llore y llore, de huelga ya están bien pandos. El picket sign, el picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día. El picket sign, el picket sign, conmigo toda la vida. Ya tenemos más del año peleando con esta huelga. Ya tenemos más del año peleando con esta huelga. Un ranchero ya murió y el otro ya sí su abuela. El picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día. El picket sign, conmigo toda la vida. Un primo que tengo yo andaba regando diches. Un primo que tengo yo andaba regando diches. Un día con pagarrulo y otro con sanavabiches. El picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día. El picket sign, conmigo toda la vida. Me dicen que soy muy necio, gritón y alborota pueblos. Me dicen que soy muy necio, gritón y alborota pueblos. Pero Juárez fue mi tío y Zapata fue mi suegro. El picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día. El picket sign, conmigo toda la vida. Y ahora ando organizando la raza en todos los files. Y ahora ando organizando la raza en todos los files. Y muchos siguen comiendo tortillas con puros chiles. El picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día. El picket sign, conmigo toda la vida. Hay muchos que no comprenden, aunque uno les da consejos. Hay muchos que no comprenden, aunque uno les da consejos. La huelga es un bien para todos, pero unos se hacen pendejos. El picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día. El picket sign, conmigo toda la vida. El picket sign, lo llevo por todo el día, el picket sign, conmigo toda la vida.
We can't forget our brothers and sisters in the Chicano farm workers movement. That was El Teatro Campesino with El Piquet Sign. Before that was Union Maid, sung by Old Crow Medicine Show, and even earlier was Workin' Woman Blues by Valerie June.
Well, friends, we've come to the end of our time today on Grass is Blue. I'd like to quickly shout out 2 unions which have protected the labor of my family members, my grandmother's union, the International Brotherhood of Electric Workers, and my dad's union, the American Federation of Musicians. And listeners, today is a great day to remember that literally every worker protection you have at your job was brought to you by a union. So if you enjoy weekends, the 8-hour workday, workers' compensation, or, the fact that child labor is illegal, thank a union. I'm Ella Cope. Thank you so much for listening, and I will leave you with an IWW song performed by my favorite band, the Mountain Goats. Solidarity forever.
The last 30 years of our lives, 40 years, ever since the union movement, there's been a lot of work on the side of large corporations to crush that, But there was a long period of union growth, and then from the 70s onward, I don't have my history straight, but I know that since the 90s, there's been a great deal of things like right to work laws, a lot of stuff at the legislative thing, intended to crush the power of collective bargaining. They can't crush that power. All power rests in the hand of the worker. This was a request. It's called Solidarity Forever. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater neath the stars or earth the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Is there aught we hold in common with the greedy parasite who would lash us into serfdom and would crush us with his might? Is there anything left to us but to organize and fight, for the union makes us strong? Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. All the world that's owned by idle drones is ours and ours alone. We have laid the wide foundations, built it skyward stone by stone. It is ours not to toil in, but to master and to own, for the union makes us strong. Yeah. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, oh solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. In our hands is placed a power greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of armies magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Oh, solidarity forever, yes, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Everybody, solidarity forever, yes, solidarity forever, oh, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.